Hey everybody, welcome to another Con Support video. This time it's on rates with fractions. So the story here says Ben drinks tea at an incredible rate. He drinks 3.5 liters of tea every 2/3 of an hour. Ben drinks tea at a constant rate. So this is a proportional relationship because it's at a constant rate. Okay, how many liters of tea does he drink in 1 hour? So we're really looking for the unit rate here. And the important thing to understand here is they say how many liters of tea does he drink in 1 hour? So it's how many liters per hour. So when you're thinking about a unit rate, and if it's given to you like that, it's going to be liters on top, liters of tea on top, per hour, hours on bottom. Okay, so whatever comes after the word per or in 1 hour, for example, that's telling you that the unit on the bottom is the hours, right? So if it says per hour or in 1 hour, that means hours are on bottom. And we're looking for the unit rates. We're looking for how many liters in every 1 hour. So don't get intimidated by the numbers here. It's 3.5 liters of tea every 2/3 of an hour. So it means you have 3.5 liters of tea every 2/3 of an hour. So it's really just going to be a ratio of 3.5 to every 2/3, right? So 3.5 on top, 2/3 on bottom. You want a unit rate, so you're going to divide top and bottom by the bottom. So if you divide top and bottom of that ratio by 2/3, you're going to get an equivalent ratio that is a unit rate where the denominator is 1 hour. So it's really just going to be 3 1/2 divided by 2/3. Now there's lots of ways to go about doing 3 1/2 divided by 2/3. If you have 3 1/2 and you're dividing it by 2/3, I think the easiest way to do this is to change your mixed number into a top-heavy fraction. So you do that by taking the large whole number, timesing it by the bottom, and adding that to the top. So take 3 whole things, cut them into 2 parts each. That's 6 things. We're adding to the 1 unit we have. So that's going to be 7 halves, right? So we got 7 halves that we're dividing by 2/3. Now dividing by 2/3 is the same as multiplying by the reciprocal of 2/3. So we just basically keep the one on the left the same. 7 halves isn't what I'm dividing by, so that just stays the same. You're dividing by the 2/3, the same as multiplying by the reciprocal, 3 halves. So really it's just 7 over 2 times 3 over 2. And that's just going to be 21 over 4. And how many times is 4 going to 21? 5, with how many left over? 1. So it'll be 5 1/4. So your unit rate is really just 5 1/4, write that nicer, 5 1/4 liters for every 1 hour. 5 1/4 liters per hour. This guy drinks a lot of tea. Okay, so what you're going to do over here on your answer document is you're going to write 5 1/4. You can do 5 space 1/4, or you could do 5.25, which is the same as 1/4. So I'm just going to do 5 space 1/4. And there you go. There's the correct answer. We'll go to the next problem. The next problem here says Charlie reads quickly. He reads 1 3/7 pages every 2/3 minutes. Charlie reads at a constant rate, telling you this is a proportional relationship. How many pages does he read per minute? So we know that now this time the bottom value on the unit rate is not hours, it's going to be minutes. And the top value is the number of pages that he's reading, right? So it's going to be pages over minutes in our final answer, okay? Everything else basically stays the same, so we can get rid of all this and start from scratch here. Let's see if I can get rid of all this. Next time, I think I'll just smooth the scroll down. For right now, I'm just going to delete this stuff. Okay. All right, so for this problem here, we're just going to go here and say, all right, we've got 1 3/7 pages. So we're going to have pages on top, and we're going to have minutes on bottom. We want the pages per minute, so we want pages on top, minutes on bottom. And then we know this is 1 3/7 pages every 2/3 of a minute. So just divide top and bottom by 2/3, and you're going to get your answer. So in this case, what we're doing mathematically is we're going 1 3/7 divided by 2/3. That's the same as take this and change to a top-heavy fraction. 1 times 7 plus 3, that's 7 plus 3, which is 10. So that's 10/7 divided by 2/3. Remember, when you divide by 2/3, it's the same as multiplying by the reciprocal, so flip it top to bottom. And you can see that that's the same as 10/7 times the reciprocal of 2/3, which is now 3 halves. And then I would cancel out the 10 and the 2. 10 and 2 cancel to 1 and 5 because 10 divided by 2 is 5 and 2 divided by 2 is 1. And then you get 5 times 3 is 15 all over 7. So it's really 15/7. So the correct answer here is you could do it as 2 1/7. You could do it in 15/7. But basically, he reads 2 1/7 pages per minute. That's kind of his speed of reading. So you could do it as 2 space 1/7, 1/7. or you could do it as 15/17, I'm sure, if you wanted to. All right, this time I'm going to pause the video. All right, so let's continue the video now. This way you guys didn't have to watch me erase things, right? So this one says, Charlie reads quickly. Oh, we already did that one. So the next one. It says, Brian ironed 2/9 of his shirt in 3 3/5 minutes. Brian irons at a constant rate. Once again, it's proportional. At this rate, how much of his shirt does he iron each minute? So because the minutes are on bottom, it says each minute. That means it's per minute. That means we know that the minutes is going to be the bottom category. So you're going to write minutes on bottom. This in a nice color. How about a black? It's fine. So you're going to have minutes on bottom, and we're going to have the portion of a shirt on top. Okay? So it's shirt per minute, basically. Portion of a shirt for every minute. And this is how quickly he irons. So it says 2/9 of his shirt. So he's going to be able to iron 2/9 of his shirt every 3 3/5 minutes. So every 3 3/5 minutes. This time, in order to get the unit rate, so we want the denominator to be 1, you're going to just multiply or divide the top and bottom by 3 3/5. So in this case, it's just going to be 3 3/5 divided by 3 3/5, and of course 2/9 divided by 3 3/5. And that will give you your unit rate, right? How many shirts per minute, or a portion of a shirt per minute. So mathematically, what are we going to do here for the dividing? We're going to do 2/9 divided by 3 3/5. The first step is to change the mixed number into a top-heavy fraction. So 2/9 divided by 3 times 5 is 15, plus 3 is 18, so 18/5. Now you're going to look to see if you can rewrite this as a multiplication to do it easier. So dividing by 18/5 is the same as timesing by the reciprocal of that. So this is the same as 2/9 times 5/18. And then at that point, you can cancel the 2 and then 18, divide both by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 18 divided by 2 is 9. And then 1 times 5 is 5, and 9 times 9 is 81. So what this means is that this person can iron 5/81 of one shirt every minute. So it takes him a long time to iron his shirts, right? Like it would take him like over by 12 minutes to iron. 12 times 5 is 60, so more like 14, 15, let's say even 16 minutes probably to iron his shirt, right? He's very slow at ironing shirts. All right, so he does 5/81 of a shirt every minute. So that would be your portion of the shirt that he does per minute. Okay, and then that's it. Let's do the next one. All right, so this one says Corey bought 2.5 liters of paint for $60. What was the cost per liter of paint? So once again, the idea there per liter, we know that liters are going to go on bottom, and that means the cost goes on top. So it's cost over liters, and it tells us that he paid $60 for 2.5 liters. Okay, so that's your initial ratio. You want the value not of 2.5 liters, you want to know the cost of 1 liter. So you're going to divide top and bottom by 2.5, and you're going to end up with the unit rate, okay, which is going to be the cost per liter. So all you're doing mathematically is you're doing 60 divided by 2.5. Now, when we do 60 divided by 2.5, I think the easiest way to do that is to do 60 over 1 divided by the top-heavy fraction here. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. So we're looking at 5 halves there. And then you're going to change the division to multiplication. So that's 60 over 1 times the reciprocal of 5 halves, which is 2/5. And then I would just cancel out the 5 and the 60 to 12 and 1, because we know that 5 divided by 5 is 1, and 60 divided by 5 is 12. And then just multiply across the top, and you get 24 over 1. In other words, 24. So this is a situation that's costing you $24 for every 1 liter, $24 per liter. So what was the cost per liter of the paint? You just write in 24, and you're good to go. And that's how you do those problems. Hope that helped. All right, so let's stop it there.